Dave, Blake was excellent tonight. What were you seeing from him, whether just from that first inning in which he struck out the side, or how he just navigated through his outing, had pitch efficiency, pitch effectiveness? Just what were you seeing from him tonight?
I think I saw what everyone saw. Just going after guys, being on the attack, knowing that he had to be efficient to give us length, given where our bullpen was at. And, with the talent that he has, that's what can happen. The fastball was really good. The curveball was really good. And, his best secondary pitch, the changeup, was good, but it didn't even really factor as much as the fastball and the curveball. He was fantastic tonight. And, we pushed him a little bit into the sixth and through the sixth, but just because he was so efficient and, certainly that extra inning was huge for us.
Last night when we talked about just how the team grinded through that game and was able to pull off the comeback win, you talked a lot about fight and what you saw from them. How did you see that again tonight, and how good is it to just see them now stack 2 wins in almost a similar way?
I thought it's great. Very, very pleased. I thought, their starter was really good tonight, Waka. The changeup, the fastball, the cut fastball. But I thought we hung in there. And, getting a lead, catching a lead, I thought Teo had a huge at-bat. Mookie had a big night. And, even to relent and give up that lead again tonight, but to fight back and recapture the lead was great. Obviously, having Edwin and Scott down tonight, having the guys come up, the other guys come up and pick us up, and having Seth Halverson, make his Dodger debut and, get the win was exciting. But, all in all, I just love the way we really, really bared down and competed tonight.
You had said even coming into this that Blake seemed like a man on a mission. What did you see that gave you the confidence that we might see this version?
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think I know the guys pretty well, and I feel like, the conversations that we've had leading up to this, I felt it was genuine, and appreciating that, this is, kind of the playoff mindset, and, he was excited to be back, and I just like, the look in his eye, and obviously talking about how good he feels physically. So that, played into it, but I give him a lot of credit for really attacking today and not trying to be too fine.
He obviously had some good ones in the playoffs last year, but just with where he's at physically, can you kind of see the stuff even tonight, his first one back, playing different, allowing him to attack guys differently than he could last year?
Yeah, I can. Even last year, obviously, he wasn't completely healthy, as we found out later. But I thought tonight everything was free and easy. It really was. I mean, just the finishing of his pitches. He didn't seem like he was searching for feel, a delivery, and he was very external tonight. And really, I thought Roart did a great job with him. They were in lockstep all night, and that one inning where they kind of flare a block ball or a grounder that goes first to third and, score a run that way. But the other, third base with one out gets out of that. The 10 punch. So really electric stuff tonight.
He talked about really learning from that first start, and not easy to do like months apart, but in the way that he was able to be efficient, like how different were those 2 starts?
Stark. I think that, coming back from rehab and to kind of feel your way into the middle of a season is very difficult. And to kind of how do you manufacture where guys are at emotionally and physically, it's hard to do. And I do think that he learned from the first one that, we needed to win tonight and we needed to win a series, and it started with him. So I thought from pitch one, he exuded that, and that was we fed off of that.
Was the way you guys responded to anything, another sampler test of playing with that extra urgency?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just guys coming together and being ready when called upon. It doesn't matter, who's playing, where you hit, who's pitching, and just find a way to win a game. And the last couple of nights we've gotten contributions from a lot of different guys, and that's the great thing about having a lot of good players. but yeah, it was the last two nights is, what we're looking for.
It might get lost in the final score, but the at-bat that Alex Call had to set up the eventual go-ahead run, it's difficult to stay ready when you're not seeing a lot of opportunity. Does the at-bats that Alex take kind of embody the approach that you'd like the rest of your team to see?
Yeah, I think that he's a different type of player in the sense of there's not a whole lot of slug, and there's an on-base component, spoiling pitches, just fighting to not punch out, to move the ball forward. And, they were being careful with him, thinking that Rort was on deck, and got ahead in the count, and then kind of got to a 3-2 count, spoiled a couple pitches, and then, blocked the ball down the right field line. But he's a dependable player. You know what you're going to get, and he's going to fight, every at bat. And that's, I think that's what we're looking for from all of our guys, even those, especially those everyday guys.
The Dodgers are credited for making a lot of moves to establish depth across the roster and batters, and then also in the bullpen. How do those hits, like people from Alex Call, and then also having the pen, be able to back up Blake, how does that show how important having so much depth?
Yeah, it's important. That's one of the hallmarks of our ball club, on the pitching side, the positional player side, and it's a long season, and you just don't, you got to be able to, use your roster. And we pretty much go 60 players deep every year, it seems like. And to have dependable guys on the bench or in the pen that, know who they are, know their roles, it's important because, even the relievers right now, we've cycled through a lot of different relief pitchers this year. But our front office does a great job of, finding, arms that are serviceable. And I like our positional player group as far as kind of you can plug and play in a lot of different places. Very versatile group, and very battle tested. So the spot's not going to get too big for any of those guys.